All right. All right. Come on in, viewers. Come on in. Let's wait. Let me see. Can we tag some people? Can you tag some people?
Mm-hmm. I'm looking to see if we're on. I don't see it yet, but I know we're on. So, yep, I see us. Let me share.
So this is not our usual time, our usual day, but we come live, but we had something huge we wanted to share. So that's why we're here. So come on in, come on in. Let's see, can I tag some people? Let's see. Where is it?
I got it. I just
Okay. I see us. I see us. Let me share.
We also have a guest. Teresa is in the waiting room, so we're going to bring her on up shortly, so she can definitely share with us on tonight.
All right. Well, we got a huge announcement, and but before we do, we just want to get everyone in the room. If everyone can say hello, if you can shout out to us, we want to see who's on the live with us because we have some exciting news to share, and it's just, I don't know. I feel real good. I feel real good. I feel, when we are fulfilling our purpose, we're making impact. It just feels really good. So I'm excited to share the huge announcement. But before we do, I'm Jessica Wright.
And I'm Ishonda Blue.
And we are the co-founders of Innovative Senior Solutions. I'm pretty sure most of you pretty much know us. But if not, we do have viewers coming in, chiming in all over. We are sisters. We are registered nurses. We are your senior care experts.
That's right. And tonight we're talking about something a little different. Usually when we come live, we're either talking about Innovative Senior Solutions, or we're at the green table. Hello, Miss Evelyn. Or we're at the green table and we're talking about ways to help family caregivers or seniors. Mm-hmm. And so tonight we're coming in a little different form. Tonight we're actually talking about how we want a grant. And we want to share that information with you guys. It's exciting news. We're excited. This is definitely our working season.
Our working and winning season.
Working and winning. Just know when wins come, work come with it. Yes. So it is our winning and working season, and we're glad about it. But we want to share some information on how we were able to do it. Like it was something that we wasn't really focused on.
Right. Never really used that nonprofit arm to its full capacity.
But let's talk about that first. So what is the name? So we have a nonprofit, Jessica. Can you tell them the name of the nonprofit? If we can talk about when we started it, why we started it. About our foundation.
Yeah, so our foundation is the Caring for Seniors Foundation. And so it's our nonprofit arm. Really, we wanted to bridge the gap, right? We always want to meet the needs of the individuals that we serve, being able, still to keep them in their home and communities longer. So we wanted to bridge the gap, whether it was through resources, building ramps, whatever our client needed, that bridge to help them stay at home, bring resources to the communities that we serve. We do our fall festival through this foundation. And so really we want to just give back. This is our way to give back to the communities we serve, through resources, through events, through helping bring needed things and supplies to the seniors and those with disabilities. How long has it been?
I don't know. I was going to say 2012-ish. But I want to go back even before that, like what made us start a foundation. I know our business was in a pretty, we were in a pretty solid place. So the business, so I that's what I'm going to say is around maybe 2012. The business was maybe about 5 years old. So the business was pretty solid. We was at a place where we went up. She said 2011. I went far off.
Okay.
And but I know what started it with us was the fact that when we were signing people up for care, for home care, and this is way back then, but a lot of people didn't know there were other resources or other options available to them other than a nursing home. And it was everywhere we went. And that's when we got together as a team and we was like, we got to do something about this part right here. And people, and even today, a lot of people still think the nursing home is the only option. It is an option, but it is not the only option. And we wanted to make sure that we did something about that. And so that is how we started Caring for Seniors Foundation. I can remember we even asked our aunt,
I remember coming up with the name. Like, let me tell you, it is crazy to come up with names. How we come up with names, we get all of our people together and they throw out some names.
So we did it the hard way. Like now you got Chat GPT, you can get your name just like this. But back then we called up the brightest minds in our family and we got on a call and we said, hey, this is something we want to do. We might have suggested one or two names and then everybody kind of had at it and we ultimately made a decision. But that's how we used to do it back then, was getting the brightest minds in our family and just seeing, can we come up with the name? But we actually asked our aunt, Maddie Mays Childs, to help us start the foundation, the nonprofit. And you guys know that's a process. And of course, at that time, we knew nothing about it. And so I think she went to a class, we sent her to a class, and through that class, they helped her form the foundation for us. And so I can't remember how long it took her, but we got our number, we got our foundation. And then the next step was building a board. And then we brought Whitney on, I think, around that time. And Whitney did some work with our foundation. But like you said, Jessica, the original purpose for the foundation was to make sure that seniors knew about resources that were available to them. And that's how we came up with the Fall Festival, our senior festival. I think this is the 12th one. Y'all tell me. I get the numbers wrong.
Keep us straight, Whitney.
Yes, Whitney, help us out. But I think this is the 12th festival, but that was the first event that we put on place that was sponsored by the foundation. And that festival, I think the first year we had it, maybe it was in 2012, since we started the foundation in 2011. But the first festival, I remember we only had 2 people there. You remember that?
Yes.
And my team, they always laugh at me because I think we had cookies and water. That's how it was back then.
Humble beginnings.
That's what we served. But anyway, we had our very first foundation, and it was 2 of our home care clients. It was a husband and wife that came. We were at South Georgia Tech at the Polk Center.
Yes.
And but guess what? We didn't give up.
No.
Because we brought it back again the next year, and then the next year. And then it started getting some traction after a while. And like I said, last year, we had over 500 attendees. coming from all over the state, and it is a staple event now in our town here for seniors and family caregivers. So yeah.
And just to put a plug, it will be happening September the 11th. We will be on the campus of South Georgia Technical College in the gymnasium, and we are looking to have 500 plus seniors again this year. We're going, our theme for our festival is New York City. We're going to New York City, and so we're going to do it big. And we're looking for volunteers. We're always looking for volunteers, vendors, attendees, donations, all the things.
Yeah.
So, plug for the Senior Fall Festival happening just a couple of months away.
Yep, it'll be our 12th annual senior festival, and like you talked about, it was one of the things we do at the festival is we invite vendors, anybody that provide a service or product to help seniors or family caregivers be able to stay in their homes or community. Those are the vendors that we invite. And so it's a fun time. Like, they're going to play, it's the largest Southwest Georgia bingo ever. And some people have 3 and 4 cars. It's like really fun for them. They get a free meal, and it's a fun time, but at the same time, they're getting resources. Yes. They're learning, they're getting educated. And so I think another staple part of our festival is the bingo, the resources. But here recently, the talent show have been off the chain. It's been
Seniors
so good.
Got Talent. Let me tell you. Oh my goodness. So listen, you don't want to miss it. So grab your tickets. We're on Eventbrite. You can do all the things on Eventbrite. If you want to be, again, a vendor, you want to donate, you want to have a sponsorship, attend, all the things, get your t-shirt, everything you need. Go to Eventbrite, look up Innovative Senior Solutions Annual Fall Festival.
Yeah, hopefully
there.
Whitney can drop the link to register for the festival, because I think August the 14th is the deadline. So we just want to make sure, we didn't come here to talk about that, but since we're talking about it.
So that's part of our arm of our 501c. And before we get to the huge announcement, we're going down memory lane, and we forgot our very first event. I don't know if we have any viewers on that remember. If you're watching us in the replay, please chime in on this conversation. But what was it called? It was our Valentine Gala. That was our first event with the
how can I forget the galas?
Yeah, with the 501c. Oh my God. It was good until it wasn't good. It was really good. It was a lot of work.
It was a lot of work.
And people look forward to the gala now. They really did. We did it nice.
We had Carla Heath Sands and her band. I know they showed up several years. The food was always good. Okay, but again, it was just a lot of work. It was a lot of work, and so we transitioned from that. We transitioned. It wasn't our main thing. So we transitioned from that. But anyway, the purpose of that was also to raise funds for the Fall Festival. And I think when it got to a point where it wasn't raising enough funds to benefit the senior festival, that's when we made that decision that we wasn't going to go forward with that anymore.
But the memories.
Going
down memory lane.
Yes, the memories.
All right. So do we need to bring on Miss Teresa? Are we ready to start?
We can talk a little bit more about, so again, how many years we've had the foundation? Since 2011. And so out of all those years, really for 12 years, we only did the senior festival. That's how we used our foundation, so that people could donate to the festival. Businesses could donate. It would be a tax-free write-off for them. And that is essentially the only way we used it.
Because I think we always said grants for care is not, we just don't know of any. That's what we.
Well, that's what people say.
That's
like,
what we. That's
who's
what
gonna
we
give you a
thought.
grant? Usually what you hear is grants come in low interest loans, and you have to pay them back. But there's really no free money, and this is not really free money either. But there's really no free money out there, and so I think we didn't focus on it. We just worked. We just worked the hard way, the only way we knew how. But we met this lady. Her name is Teresa Pelham, and we met her a couple of years ago when we were joined TSP Mastermind, and that was her focus was writing grants. And we're going to bring her up in a little bit. But anyway, we met her, and she was like, she said, I can get y'all a grant. She said, I just know I can get y'all a grant. And she was so passionate about that. And we believed her. And so actually when we met her, we were trying to do senior housing. Y'all know we'll go down a road. But we had went to this conference, and we had learned about senior housing was a big thing, and that if we start building today, it still is not going to be enough housing. And so we tried to try our hand in that. It wasn't for us. That's another thing about being a good entrepreneur. You got to know when you leave it alone. Like yeah. So we realized that wasn't in our lane, but we did try it, and that's when we met Teresa, and Teresa was helping us look at grants for senior housing, and that's when we learned about, oh my gosh, all that HUD stuff. I don't want to hear nothing else about that ever again in my life. It was pretty interesting. It was pretty interesting. It was a lot of work for those types of grants. And that was interesting. So anyway, that is how we connected with Teresa Pelham. She's also one of our Saras. And so anyway, that's what she was initially looking for us. And we made several good connections on that. Now, it wasn't all for nothing. We made some really good connections, but again, we just made a decision that wasn't our focus and it wasn't our lane, and we came out of it. And so, and that was 2 years ago.
Right.
And so we had another meeting. I don't know. I think I was looking for something online and I saw it. I think I was just searching. And I saw Alzheimer's Association has a grant. And I said, let me read this. And I read it. And I said, let me send this to Teresa. And so I sent it to Teresa, emailed it to Teresa, and she looked at it and she said, oh, yeah, we can go after this. And so this is a really large grant. Let me say it's called the Alzheimer's Association Center for Dementia Respite Innovation. I think we can go ahead and bring Teresa up. But it's called the Alzheimer's, again, Association Center for Dementia Respite Innovation. And it was really real. Hey. But one of the first things they did was had a webinar. They had a webinar that basically essentially told you about the grant and what they were looking for. And when they made it very clear, they wanted, one of the things they wanted to focus on was respite care for people with Alzheimer's and dementia. And they wanted it to address the underserved communities. And they wanted something innovative. They didn't want to hear the same old. They wanted something innovative. And so we kind of heard what they were looking for. Of course, they talked about the budget and all of that, but I think the first thing was us coming up with something that was innovative, that's something they probably never heard before. How can we wow them? Because that's what I got from the webinar. Is that what you got, Teresa?
Yes. It's always about wowing them.
Hold on. Miss Teresa, can you hear it? We can't hear you. Hold on 1 second. Let's see.
I can hear you.
Probably audio. Everything is up. Let's see.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, now we can hear you.
Yeah, you're correct. It's about wowing the funder, but also filling in a gap. That's why I
Mm.
always tell people, when you go after a grant, you might have 100 people doing the same thing that you do. So you have to do the research and see what's out there and try to fill in the gap. And that's what you all did. You came up with an idea to fill in the gap.
Yeah, so we attended that webinar. You kind of emailed us some things. You said this is some things y'all need to do, need to think about,
Yes.
and I went back to the team, and we started strategizing, and we was like, what can we do? And I think we came up with a really great strategy. And I think I called you, Teresa, and I said, this is the strategy. And Teresa said, this is good.
I did. I said, "Oh, yeah, this is good. We're gonna go for it. Send me what I need, the information." And I I wrote it, sent it to you. You said, "Oh, can you do this? Add this." Did that, and look at you all now. And it's
Yeah.
just the beginning.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we tweaked it and we got it just right. But what we came up with, guys, was that we wanted to pilot our adult day center mobiles in Black and Hispanic churches in Dougherty County. We chose Dougherty County, and this was interesting too, right? It was just timing because I had just read an article that was put out by RCI, Rosalind Carter Institute, and it talked about how Dougherty County is fourth in the nation of people being diagnosed with Alzheimer's or dementia. And I'm like, that's in our backyard. We have a facility in Dougherty County.
It just lines up, right?
Yeah, yeah. We have an adult daycare and a personal care home in Dougherty County. And so we said, yeah, this needs to be our target, Dougherty County for sure, where we can make a difference there. And so, yeah, that was it. That was pretty much the innovation that we came up with. I think they so when we submitted it, Teresa, didn't they do a call? Didn't they have some questions about it or something?
Yes, they did. They had some questions. Not so much as your ideal, but they questioned a little bit about the budget. There were certain guidelines that the grant would not allow for things that we had put in the budget. You called me and I said, okay, let's change it. We did the numbers, removed this, added this, and sent it back, and you got the grant. So that's another thing. Two things you said that was really important is data. You sent me the article. I had to read it, pull the data, put it in the grant so that it will be appealing to the funders. It was their data, but it's sometimes you have to write it away to grab their attention. And then the second thing is sometimes you have to be prepared for the call. So you had the application. So you was like, all right, Teresa, get on this call, do this. And I did it for you. And look, I'm just so happy. I'm excited.
Yeah. So, Teresa, I think you know me by now. Like when I come up with an idea, it's going to be, it might be out there. And so one of the things that we had wrote into the grant, y'all, was that we wanted a mobile, it's an adult day mobile that we're doing, but we wanted a mobile vehicle. Like we wanted one of those vehicles that had that we could go around to the different
like
churches.
A mobile unit.
And it had
you do like COVID, or you can do different things in the mobile unit where they pop up at different locations.
Right, because we didn't want people to have to alter their church as much, and we thought if we could have a mobile that could go around, it would make things much easier. We're still going after that mobile.
Oh yeah, but, we're working on some other things.
Yeah. So that was the thing that we had to take out because they said in that particular funding you could not do any type of vehicle or something like that. So,
Right. But there are some grants that we have one that's coming up that we're going to go to. I'm going to a webinar. We are, and we're going to see if we can slide that in there. So
yeah. You're going to say something?
So it's just, everything always happen in its season and its timing. right time. You ran up on that article. Doherty County, we answered a need, right? If you can always find a solution to a problem, to a need, it's going to make it that much easier, right? I think it was a no-brainer for the individuals that looked at our proposal, our application. They were excited. It was really innovative, and so I'm just really excited for this to be our first grant and it to be $250,000. That's huge, right? And so, when we do it, we want to do it, at its biggest, finest way. And so we're just really thankful and grateful to be able to connect with Teresa, to be able to have a service that is answering the need in this hour, in this upcoming season, where seniors will be our largest population. And we know those diseases that come with aging, dementia, Alzheimer's, all these things that come along with it, and that we have an answer to help keep individuals again in their home and in their community. So being a support to their loved ones to help care for them. So this is
I'm excited.
Everything.
And the best thing about this grant is, when we read the application, that you can apply again next year.
And for a little bit more too.
For a little bit more money. And you can use this grant to leverage other grants. So.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. But before we get to that, Teresa, I was thinking about too, I had forgot telling our story, how during the pandemic, so when we got this, I can't remember the time and you helped me, but anyway, I know during the pandemic, we wasn't doing the festival, right? And so what that means, we were not really keeping up with the some of the requirements for the 501c3. And so it ended up getting what's the word? What happened to our 501c? It was suspended.
Yeah, but that's not the
that's not the right word. But we couldn't use it. Wasn't valid anymore. Right. What's the word we want to use?
I got to think. Now I'm having a senior moment myself. I'm like,
it wasn't revoked. It was revoked. It was revoked because we didn't send in the proper documentation that's required every year, and we just wasn't really thinking about it because we weren't doing the festival, and heck, it was a pandemic, so we just really weren't thinking. And so I think when we told you about this grant, you was like, oh, we got to get this thing. So we were working on that on the background while we were still working on this. You helped us really get it reinstated, which was a process. How long did that take, Teresa?
Oh, it seemed like forever, but I know it was 90 days or more. It seemed like really forever, but I know it was like 90 days or more, maybe a little more than 90 days.
And that took being on the phone. Y'all was on the phone a long time. You and Whitney waiting to get these people to talk to somebody to see the status.
I think it probably would have been longer. And I always tell people the squeaky wheel gets the oil. With them, we had to keep calling, and then we had to call and say, look, we have a grant that's pending. We have funding that's pending. If we don't get this, can you at least sign it to a specialist so we can get it going? And that's what happened.
So we got it back reinstated just in time, and like you said, since we've been awarded this grant, we got more opportunities coming our way related to grants. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, Teresa?
I don't know, do you want me to share the grant?
No.
I won't share, but we do have some other grants, and that's what you can do. I don't care what the amount of the grant is. When you get a grant, you can leverage it for other grants, because funders gonna say, oh, this organization trusts them, so let's see what they did. We'll give them a try also. You can leverage that grant. because a lot of the grants, especially like the federal grant, even though this is through the Alzheimer's Association, the money comes from the federal government. And so, especially with federal grants, some of them will ask you, what other funds have you had, or what other funds for the project? And then you can list those, and they'll be like, oh, okay. And so it gives you credibility when you have that first grant, and then you can leverage it for other grants. It just gives you credibility.
Yeah, yeah. And then too is like now, because we had our meeting, so we meet every other week now looking at grant opportunities, and you had a nice little list of things that we could now start looking, and we really don't have to change a whole lot, right?
No, you don't. See, once you get that I always say the golden nugget, in which you all have now, we can use that golden nugget to go after other fundings, like that mobile unit we're gonna get.
So the doors, the floodgates, the doors are open now for us to
Right.
walk in and to be able to receive the funding, to use this arm that we have had for 11 years, 11 plus years. And now we're in the place. It's the right time. Everything in its time, and right?
Yeah.
And now we're in the right place, the right time, and to be able to utilize it fully, to utilize it even more, to be able to make impact and
Right.
more people stay at home.
Yeah.
Right. And one thing about this grant that you got, it was for profit and nonprofits, remember? But we decided to use the nonprofit because you get more money.
That's
And
right.
so that's why. So you have to look at the eligibility and see who are they offering the grant to. So
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the grant. So again, the purpose of the grant that we got was to enhance quality and availability for dementia-specific respite care for people living with dementia and their family members. And we're going to do this in Dougherty County. Again, if you guys are interested and you want us to bring this to your county, definitely let us know. We can start looking for funding for that. But we are starting out in Dougherty County. And we talked about the reason why we chose Dougherty County. It's the fourth in the nation for people who are living with dementia or Alzheimer's. So that's why we chose Dougherty County. The innovation that we came up with was the mobile adult day unit for underserved populations. And we're going to be focusing on African American and Hispanic churches, right?
Right.
And the benefits, some of the benefits of the grant, they'll be able to get, the main thing is respite for caregivers, family caregivers. If you've ever been a family caregiver, and specifically one with a family member with Alzheimer's and dementia, that is a tough job. It is a tough job, and this program can help you do it longer. It can help give you a break. So it is respite, it is relief for family caregivers.
And if we, the grant, that this is free for the participants.
It is free.
It is totally free
for
individuals who meets the criteria. So not only relief, but some people are don't meet those eligibilities for waiver programs or don't have the funding. That is not going to be a roadblock for this.
No,
this time. No.
And one thing about your organization and what you're doing with the grant, it stated that a lot of times a lot of our underserved communities don't trust people, but they'll go to their houses of worship or their place of worship where they can trust. So you are partnering with these already places where they go and they trust to provide this service. So it's a win, not only for the respite families, but for the churches and the community as well. So you get a threefold win.
Threefold, because we plan on we got some partners too. We're going to talk about them that we brought in with this grant, but we're going to be doing education. We're going to make sure everyone, the church, volunteers, the family members get dementia care training. love, but I share sometimes the story of how my mom and grandmom was interacting later in her life when she had dementia, and she was always accusing someone of taking her things. And sometimes when you don't have that training, you can take that personal. And how we got our mom in a dementia care training program, and how it just really changed that dynamic with their relationship and how she was able to take care of her. So we're going to make sure there's going to be education and resources. They're going to get healthy meals. They're going to get mental and physical exercise and engagement. They're going to get health care assessments. That is huge. Because there will be a nurse on site, so they will be able to get health care and assessments. But like I said, that respite, like you said, Teresa, in a place where you actually trust. So
Yes.
A refuge, yes. So
yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're super excited about this. And then some of the partners that we have is definitely Sawiga out of Albany, who will be helping us hopefully with the education and some of the resources. RCI, Rosalind Carter Institute, will be helping us with some education. Flint River Fresh will help us with some of the food and food drives and things we plan on doing. Of course, the churches that we're benefiting with, and none other than Innovative Senior Solutions. Caring for Seniors Foundation will also be partnering with Innovative Senior Solutions to utilize Innovative's expertise in related to adult daycare. So, yes,
It's
yes.
great. That is so great. I'm just so excited because we're gonna have you all come in my little area too. I already talking to some pastors and say, hey, we need this. So I would just say, if you are a faith-based organization, here's something that your church could really benefit from. So and you could really help your congregation by offering this service. And so contact Innovative Senior Solutions or Caring for Seniors Foundation.
That's right. That's right. We're so excited about this. And again, if you're interested, just let us know.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. I mean, a huge opportunity to impact the community in a way that hasn't been impacted before. So
That's right. That's right.
So I'm going to drop our contact information in the chat. And so again, if you're watching this and and this sparks some interest for you and your organization, your church, please don't hesitate to reach out to us, because we want to make sure we can come to a community near you and provide this service to you as well. So we'll definitely put that in the chat. So if you're watching it on replay, put replay in the chat. If you have any questions, we'll continue the conversation in the chat. So please share, like, tag individuals, pastors, leaders in your community about this, because this is huge.
This is huge. This is huge. Teresa, can you put your information in the chat, or do we have to do it for you?
I think you might have to do it for me because I don't see it.
Okay.
I don't see the chat.
All right. Text it to me, and then I'll put.
I see private chat, so I'll do that.
Okay.
All right.
They can just contact me. Send me an email.
Okay.
Just send me an email, and I'll do that because this is huge. I when you told me, I was on pins and needles. I was like, okay, they said July 1st, because sometimes they're a little late when they announce the awards. And so when you got the award and you text me, I'm always writing. Right now I'm reviewing federal grants, and you said, Trish, I tried to call you, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. She said, we got the grant. I'm just like, yay.
But you know what, Teresa? Two things. One is, you said y'all gonna get this grant.
I did.
Like you spoke it, you said it, you said y'all gonna get this grant. And the second thing is, when we submitted, you said, I prayed over this.
That's right.
And, so I just want to point those two things out. We don't want to leave that off because I believe those
Right. No.
were key ingredients
Yeah.
to us getting this grant. So anyway, I just wanted to share that too.
Yeah. Prayer. When use any grant that I submit, if I submit it and go in, I pray before I submit that button. And so I think that may be a reason why I win them. Now I have lost some, but I say, come on, Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah,
And so
and
we
so
thank you, Teresa. Go ahead, dear.
no, I was gonna say he always directs us, and this is the time that he directed you all, and look what you got, $250,000.
Yeah. And it's just the beginning.
Just the beginning.
You promised us a million, so we got some more
Yeah.
to
Oh
get.
yeah, we on we got number 3 more $250,000 grants. We getting that. You'll be in the Millie Club.
Yes, that's what you told us. So I'm
Yeah,
standing.
we got a big one coming up, and we're gonna see what that one's about.
Yes, but thank you. I definitely want to thank Whitney too, because Whitney was a big part of our strategy, and helping us come up and fine tune the words and all of that stuff that makes it make it, right? That makes it make it. So I would definitely want to thank her. And we're excited. We're excited.
Yeah. Now the work begins.
That's right.
Now the work begins. Whitney is actually the director over the grant, and so she'll be contacting churches and making those partnerships and seeing can we, because we've been cleared, the one where the runway has been cleared for us to take off. So we're going to be getting to work.
Yep. So.
And we'll have to come back. We'll have to come back
tuned.
maybe like 6 months in and talk about the progress, or maybe quarterly.
And look, and the next grant.
And the next grant. And the next one. That's right.
Yeah, so exciting. You all stay tuned. We always have something going on here at Innovative. That again, we have a mandate, we have a purpose, we have a call that we have to answer. And so we are on the move trying to making it happen.
That's right.
And so we're just thankful to the partners and the people that are up under us and help us move the vision forward. So again, thank you viewers for tuning in, and stay tuned, put your notifications on, because you just never know what is happening here at Innovative. So again, we say thank you, Miss Teresa, the Grant Boutique. If you have any grant needs, you need to hook up with Miss Teresa Pelham.
That's right.
She got the hookup.
And I just want to mention one more thing. I thank you all for your patience, because we worked before. It didn't happen, but I didn't give up, and neither did you, because I was determined. If I say I'm gonna get you a grant, I'm gonna get you a grant. Now I'm determined to do that. I'm a woman of my word. So you all did great. We've been working with each other now 2 years, maybe a year and a half, and this is the first time we got it, and this is a huge grant. So I thank you all for hanging in there so we can get this money.
Yes. I'm typing in your email.
Okay.
All right, viewers. So listen, we're going to put all the contact information in the chat. So look for it there. Again, if you have any questions, anything, you can put it in the chat, or you can contact us directly, and we will definitely assist you as needed. So again, thank you all for chiming in, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.
Oh, we got put in twice. Bye, y'all.